All right, this rant is not meant to go on too long, so please stop me if I get crazy here. Hello and welcome to Shelf Centered. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I really appreciate it. So I just wanted to do a little rant here. I typically like to stay on the positive on this channel. I found that the way that I meticulously research books to read and really I attempt to not fill my life with things that I don't like. I tend to actually, have really on the positive side things that happen here. But anyway, so I wanted to get into, this is something that's been grinding my gears for many years, and it's the Goodreads Choice Awards. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't know if it's because I have a birthday in December, but it really chaps my hide. I'm going to use every single idiom if I can. That this awards for the year of will begin often in October of that year. Literally a sixth of the year left over. 2/12. If my math is not right, 2/12, 1/6 of the year, we're just gonna ignore. And I know, with the Goodreads Choice Awards, they do say, hey, you know what? We still allow those books to come into the next year. But the problem is you're not thinking about those books that are at the end of the previous year when you come to the new year. And so this has just been something that I've been boycotting for many years. This year will be another year for this. I'm sorry, but this is how it is. The Goodreads Choice Awards, it just drives me nuts. So here's one of the things. I have to give it to Goodreads this year that they started the opening round just barely this week. We're midway through November. So honestly, I'm pretty sure we owe it all to me because of my complaining for all these years. But really, I'll be honest, I'm not a Goodreads hater even. I like the service. I actually found it better than a lot of other services. I tried Library Thing and it just didn't work for me as well as Goodreads did. And then on top of it, Goodreads has the huge platform of people that I want to interact with. So there's many things that Goodreads does bring to the table. I'm not going to complain. It's one way that's a great way to interact with my friends that I enjoy books with. And so I'm not a hater on Goodreads. It's just this one thing and probably a couple more things. But this one thing just drives me nuts each year. And part of the thing, and I did a bunch of research for this video. Like I said, I won't make it too long, hopefully. But because I did see that there were a couple of books that I did notice, I was just going through one after the other. So here's the biggest thing is Rhythm of War, for instance. Last year, it was number 4 overall. So if you look at last year's Goodreads Choice Awards, and I was able to catch this before anything changed, there was an article that kind of explained the system, right? So if you got October 27th of last year is when it started. October 27th. So we're talking even, we're going to cut off even more than the last 2 months, the 6th of the year. And you could say, wait a sec, but those books that come out in between that are opening in the opening round that come out in that, they're still going to be eligible. That is actually accurate. But for example, one of your issues that I found was that Rhythm of War was the number 4 most voted for the Goodreads Choice Awards for 2020. And what happens is when you have this book that comes out that's this popular, it kind of makes a sham of your whole operation. Because what happened was the Rhythm of War did not actually get released until November 17th. November 17th, 2020. That is actually after the closing of the original opening round. I'm going to read this. Books published in the United States in English, including works in translation and other significant re-releases between November 16th, 2019 and November 17th, 2020 are eligible for the 2020 Goodreads Choice Awards. Even though the semifinal round started November 10th, which would, I guess, preclude any books before that from being entered into the semifinal round, you would have to have read them, right? I mean, I would assume. Clearly, this is a choice award, so I know it's already suspect anyway, regardless. But what's frustrating to me is just that you have last year, and I know they kind of made the rules, it seems like, to be able to include just Rhythm of War, and probably there were many books that were released on the 17th of November last year. But if you close the round, the opening round is clearly closed before the semifinal round begins, which was November 10th. It doesn't make logical sense. I mean, I guess, were there that many advanced readers of the book? Were there that? It seems nonsensical to me, even though they technically, I guess, met the rules that this book could come in. It just, even by their own rules, it doesn't make any sense that a book published after the date that your opening round, that is the round to gather all the books to be eligible for the semifinal round, because that's what the semifinal round is taken from, is the opening round, then how could all those people have voted for it? Is it, I mean, and again, clearly a Choice Awards is a popularity contest. It's in the name. But don't you still have to have been able to read it first? It just doesn't make any sense, at least to fake it here. So it just drives me nuts. Another one that was voted number 11 in its year. Let's see. And I think it might have been for last year. The Burning God. Yeah, the Poppy War number 3. It came out also November 17th, 2020. That's why I said I think they clearly chose that date, but also wanted to still close the round earlier than the date of publication. So it doesn't make any sense. And again, I will clearly admit that I am a December birthday. I think there's valuable things to happen in December. How many movies, though? Let's say the Oscars or whatever. I mean, if we just cut off right at December, which is such a great month, wouldn't you say? Especially if you have a birthday in that month. It just doesn't make any sense. And how many great works are just being ignored? Maybe not. And maybe this is fine, but it just has always bothered me. There's a reason that the Oscars happen the following year. You take a look at the movies that came out in that year. If you're going to call it the 2021 or the 2020 Choice Awards, Goodreads Choice Awards, then it would be for that year, correct? But this seems to be one of those things that just, it's so that we can all be primed and ready for Christmas. And it just seems wrong. It seems frustrating to me. And, anyway, and maybe it's the right way to go. Maybe this helps authors, so please correct me. I am happy to change my mind in this. It has frustrated me for years. I've felt like the end of the year is left out. I know technically under the rules, you can tell me all day, technically under the rules, it doesn't leave out the end of the year. It seems wrong to me you can't call it the year's best if it doesn't include the full year. And December is part of the year, okay? So, all right. End rant. Hey, Editing Bryce here again. Sorry, just one thing came up after I had filmed this video, and one of the big things that is way bigger than any of my issues in this video, so that's why I had to add it, is that Goodreads has not allowed any write-in submissions, and therefore that's going to affect our self-published people probably the most. And so it's frustrating. I don't know why that we can't just have is it that much more complicated? It just doesn't seem like it. And there's just this whole slew of people that deserve credit. One more thing. We didn't need it. Anyway, that's back to your video. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate your time. Does this make any sense? Anyone feel me here? Anyway, appreciate your time and your support. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.